Okay, here's a look at the Legacy Evolution Devcon. And first, here's just a quick look at the box. I already went over this on the unboxing and first impression, so no need to go over that. And the instructions booklet, which I did not go over in the unboxing first impressions video, so we'll just take a quick look at this so you could see the accessories it comes with, what you could do with the accessories, and then the steps for the transformation. And it's really nice how they number it, so that's a good way to handle these detail drawings. So that's a look at the instructions. And now we can take a look at the figure. And I have to say, this is a really nice figure. I don't say this very often, but I really like this figure a lot. You know, this looks like the cartoon character. It's a missing character in the collection, and I think they did a really nice job overall capturing the cartoon aesthetics. So with that said, let's compare this with the animation model so you could see. Yeah, you see they did a really nice job capturing the cartoon aesthetics. I will point out though that there is little extra sculpted detail on the figure, which does make it look nicer, such as, like, let's see, you know, like all these little lines that are not really on the cartoon, but all this extra sculpted detail is what makes the figure look nice. And I'll just say, you know, something like Magic Square, how they completely make it hypertoon, they would probably eliminate, you know, all these extra details. But anyways, I don't want to go rambling on and on. They did a really nice job, and they handled the extra details really nice. Yeah, so yeah, in terms of the accessories, you do get his handgun, which I think is cool how it's on his forearm. So it has like a really stylish look to it. And if you want, you can actually untab it, put it in his hand if you want. And then these stupid things that they do, just making up stuff. If you want, you can attach these rocket blaster things or whatever to give it more extra firepower or something. You're basically making something up. But yeah, you could do that if that's what you want to do. But this is just in terms of the figure. And I will say that this figure is definitely better made than the previous figures that I reviewed, which was the, was it Aereo and Dion? So let me just kind of give you an example if I can. Just, you know, the look at the tolerance on these things. They fall apart. Even here, you know, when you're manipulating it, transforming it, tab these two together, they're gonna pull apart, and it's just, it's a big mess. And if you saw my video on this, I was telling you that you know, they don't do that with all the figures. And here's a perfect example. This is a figure. It is another repaint retool, but you could, if you could touch and feel it, the way they handled this figure is definitely much better. I mean, you have better tolerances, even the paint here, the saturation, transformation, manipulation, all that stuff. There's no issues with this figure, but there is with this repaint and retool. Same thing with Aereo. So I just wanted to bring that up just to, you know, reiterate and make my point that you know, these figures, these repaint retool figures, were not well made, but this one is. So again, that's what makes it so frustrating, because I don't know why they do that. But anyways, this is a really nice figure, and it is a repaint retool of the Blur figure. a heavy retool. So just want to give you a quick look here so you could see just where they made the differences. I mean, heavy retool. I mean, the whole front part of the vehicle. And I just want to say, you know, I don't, people complain about these parts of the vehicle on his forum, but for me, I'm letting you know that doesn't bother me at all. I mean, this is a very iconic detail of this character. It just kind of stands out a little bit, which is okay. It's kind of like really emphasizing that, so it doesn't bother me at all. The only thing that does bother me, and that's interesting with all their Studio Series 86, the face that is too long. That's the only thing that really bothers me about that Blur figure. But anyways, I go rambling on and on. So that's a look with the original version, and you cannot have Devcon without his partner Smokescreen, and he does have the non-NEF production upgrade set, so these guns on his shoulders are more cartoon accurate. And you could see this, yeah, I'm not really a fan of mainline retail figures, but this is what makes it fun and exciting, is, you know, when you can have the characters from the cartoon and they look very much like the cartoon. Yeah, and they're fun and easy to play with and transform. So yeah, this is really cool. So that's a look at that. And now another comparison, the previous repaint retool of Devcon, and I believe this was a BotCon exclusive. So again, you have to appreciate this for what it was, because this is an older figure, and you just have to appreciate this for the way it's designed, because back then the design style was definitely much different. There's definitely more parts, more plastic. I think it's actually better plastic. You know, it's harder, more detail, more sophisticated transformation. But yeah, it does not look like Devcon. It just resembles the character. But they did do a nice sculpt on the head. Not 100% cartoon accurate, but you could see this one is definitely cartoon accurate head sculpt. So yeah, just wanted to give you a look at the previous version. And this one is having trouble standing because the joints got a little loose over time. I don't use the Kiki stuff because you know, you can actually use a little dab of Elmer's glue, and that will, and let it dry, and that will work just fine. Or some people even use like the nail polish. That works fine. So I'm just letting you know there are other options. It's not like it's loose, you have to get the Kiki. There are other options. So that's a look at that. And just for the heck of it, here he is with the previous version of Smokescreen, the Chug, original Chug. So you could see what that looks like. And let's do this. Let's bring out what the new contemporary version of this set looks like. So here is the old, and here is the new. So yeah, really, really cool. And you know, I'm trying to show you everything, so I just brought out the original, what is this, the Generations. This is the Takata, so it has that nice metallic paint finish. Here is the original Scourge or Sweep, which is what this repaint is from. So you could see there's something I actually like about this, not just because of the metallic paint finish, but the designs at that time, even though these were not cartoon accurate, yeah, these stylized versions, they were actually pretty cool. So anyways, I go on and on too much. So here's Devcon. So now let's just go ahead and transform it into his vehicle mode and take a look at that. Okay, here's a look at Devcon in his alt mode, and you could see this looks really nice. Same thing in robot mode. It does have you know, all this extra sculpted detail, but it does make it look really nice. Yeah, but I like the way they handled it. Transforming it to this mode is really easy and fun, which is what makes this a really great figure. And so now let's just do this. Let's compare this with the animation model, so you could see how well they captured the cartoon aesthetics, and I think they did a really nice job. It looks like I said, it looks a lot like the cartoon. You know, the red, the blue, the gray are where they should be. Missing a little bit of detail here and there, but that's okay. I think it's good enough. And if you want, you can attach the gun here. I guess this is more like storage stuff. So that doesn't look too bad, so I'm okay with that. The only thing I'll say is, man, if only they could have made it so this could open up, and if it came with a Slizardo so you can actually put him in there, that would have been so awesome. But you do know that if and when a masterpiece is gonna be made, probably by X-Transbots, or maybe even a Legends version by maybe New Age, you're probably gonna get it, and you probably will get that opening seat compartment. But anyways, here's a look at the alt mode. Look at those jests. I don't have those blasters to do M-goads, whoosh kind of thing, but I'm sure you could do it, and that would probably look really nice. I didn't think about it until now, but yeah, that's really cool. And I'll tell you one thing that's missing. If you see that shape there, there's actually two of them. It's missing the Autobot symbol. So yeah, I don't know if that was an oversight or if they did it, eliminated it on purpose, but it's missing the Autobot symbol. So I will put in the Autobot symbol, and yeah, just letting you know, you could, all those cool blast effects accessories, those are really, I could see how, you know, that comes in really handy in situations like this. That would make this really fun. So anyways, that's a look at the alt mode. So let's transform it back to robot mode and have our final thoughts. Okay, I did this just because I wanted to show you. So I got the blast effects from the Skylinks, and so now we could do that bloosh. Really cool. Like I said, this is really fun, and I don't appreciate this at all, Hasbro, but I did put in the Autobot symbol there. So now this definitely looks much better in his alt mode. Look at that. This looks really awesome. So that's a look at that. And just real quick, because I forgot to mention it, if you're interested, the original repaint retool of Devcon, which is a repaint retool of Scourge, here is the bio that it came with. So if you're interested, you can pause and read that if you want. Getting a glare. So I mean, those were kind of cool, these like exclusive things. But anyways, this looks really cool. That orange accent gives it a nice color too. So anyways, now let's transform it back to robot mode and have our final thoughts. Okay, my final thoughts on this figure. This is a really nice figure. Like I said, I don't normally say how much I really like a figure, but I'm telling you, I really like this figure a lot. And it's not just because it's, you know, cartoon accurate. Maybe it has something to do with the character, but the way that this figure is made, the tolerance, the transformation, I mean, no issues with this figure. I mean, I could nitpick like the head, you know, it could be, you know, sculpted a little bit different so you get more articulation with the head going up and down. You don't really get the foot going up and down. So there is a you know, you don't get 100% articulation, but I'm not one of those collectors that really poses these figures, so I'm okay with it. I'm more focused on how does this look? Does this look like the cartoon character? Yes, it does. How well is this figure made? The form and function, really nice in both modes. So I really like this figure a lot. And it goes great with your collection. It's a character that other companies have not made in Masterpiece or Legends scale yet. So with that said, yeah, I think this is a figure definitely worth getting. For a mainline figure, just completing your collection, this is definitely a must-have. So that's my final thoughts. This is a great figure, and I do recommend getting it if you can.
The Decepticons must be stopped at all costs.